Welcome back, fishing friends, to the worldwide headquarters of the Pinhook Fishing Club. I just want to say Happy New Year to everyone. I'm going to do some quick ties and talk real quick about some baits, and then I'll show you a clip of a drop shot fish that I got yesterday. And it was a rough outing, but I was so happy that I was able to hook up on that fish using the drop shot. It was kind of rough water and things didn't go so well at the other spots, but I really enjoyed catching that one. So let me get you in the stand here and then we'll get started. Okay, now this is on the GoPro, so the camera's going to be focused primarily on the tying. But before we get to that, let me do a quick reminder. The eyeballs are on the Cousin Eddie. So I've been getting some requests to make more Cousin Eddies and then maybe to fish with one. So that may be something. I need to put my glasses on. Where are my glasses? Here are my glasses. I usually don't wear them unless I'm doing something like this or if I'm at work. But yeah, the Cousin Eddie. So this one came out pretty popular, especially with family members. They know all the silliness with it, but look at it, it's got all kinds of colors in there. So this one's going to one of my cousins, but I'll make some that I can fish with and maybe even make a video fishing with it, see if I can catch something with Cousin Eddie special. Alright, hey, a couple things I want to talk to you guys about. I talked yesterday about how these jackhammers, I use the specific trailers on them. And I mean, I switch them up a little bit depending on the year. Like this one's got a paddle tail on it, like a little beaver tail. But for the most part, they're going to have that exo stick on there. It's just so smooth in the water. But there's some of them, like this one's got a couple of little paddles on there for craw, a craw. Here's a little beaver tail one. So I try to split them up a little bit. This guy's got a little bit different one. It's kind of dangles here, but in the water with all those little ribs in there, it's going to flow pretty well. Oops, I need to get this in front of the camera. Sorry about that. So here's this one. Let me show you the other paddle ones. So on these jackhammers, I'll switch it up, but for the most part, I like those ones with the exo sticks. It's like a little fire crawl. These are popular in the spring, but that tail is just perfect on there. Puts off the right amount of wake that you need. Alright, the other thing is, I talked a little bit about these spinner baits and these trailers. Same thing, not too much on here, because when you want, and sometimes I'll even trim on here, because when you want the fish to hit it, you want to make sure it's getting where the hook is. Now, pro tournament guys will have a trailer hook that'll come down here. So I try to look to make sure that the skirt doesn't go past the hook too much. And the trailer, I'll even trim it sometimes so it's barely there. So this one I'll probably trim just a little bit. So something to think about, like this one's got a little short tail on it. The skirt's about the right length. I don't throw these kind of spinners as much as I'd like. This one's a great color right here. So the double willows, that's the other thing. Speedy, throw a lot of water off. And it's like a... If you're using a Colorado blade, that's more for like darker stained water. It's more like a thump, 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 thump. And then this one, I've got this little trailer right here that looks good. So if people know what they're doing with their skirts, they're not going to be too far past the hook. The other thing is, guys, I love these style twists at the end. This is a big willow, same thing, the trailer there. If it's an open one, I have to put like a little rubber band or a little piece of metal or a twisty tie, and that drives me nuts doing that. So I have a decent collection of spinners here. I don't throw them that much. You can see they come with all kinds of bells and whistles. But there are times, I think in one of the live streams, I was talking about how these were my first lures that I really focused on and got into, and we'd use these for pike up in Iowa. This is a good color. For colors, white, black, chartreuse. Sometimes you'll see a crawl one. Look at how wicked this blade is right here. It's going to put off a unique sound. Same thing with the trailer there. The trailer here. So I've been throwing these in a couple of the videos. I try to rotate them in and out so they each get a usage. But I've been doing that with all my crankbait, spinners, inline spinners. Well, inline spinners for MEPS, I've already done all those. Used them, but jerk baits is what I mean. And a lot of stuff I get in the subscription box or that I got for Christmas or whatever. I like to put those lures in the rotation just so I can get a feel for them. This right here is pretty good. It's got a Mr. Twister on there. Alright, so that kind of gives you a breakdown of the trailers. Now here they are. It's the tournament series, and this is the Cajun, I think. Yep, Cajun trailer. So this is the chartreuse package, but I got a package of the white, and I put them in there. The white, I just combined the bags. But these are good stuff. So there's also it's that scent they put on there that worms ate up, attractant, and what it says here on the back is, this attractant is based on natural bait fish flavors and is cooked into every lure through and through, so it lasts as long as the lure does. Our pro angler teams tested this scent for 2 years before we released it, and the results are authoritative. Bass absolutely love it. It doesn't affect the color or the soft texture of the plastic, but how they look and taste right to the fish, which means more strikes, longer hold times, increased hookup percentage, and more fish in the boat for every trip. So we know that Max Scent for Berkeley has perfected using the scents. Personally, I will soak mine in Procure is the stuff I use. And it works out pretty good. I marinate them for about a month. And sometimes I'll even put a little bit of that gulp fluid or whatever they have, that stuff that stinks. So I'll put some of that. Alright, we're going to make a little chartreuse one. I don't have the ceiling fan on, but I know I'm going to start sweating like crazy here in a few minutes because these lights I've got from, even though they're LEDs, excuse me, they throw off a lot of brightness. Anyway, so I use that Procure. Look at that, how all that stuff just comes floating off. So I ran out of black line tying material, so I switched to this green, kind of an army green pumpkin. Alright, just to recap, I'm not a professional tyer here. more of a amateur that likes just to do it for fun. And as I always say, fat fingers, fat fingers. See how this one rotated on there? I didn't put any glue down to begin with. That'll help prevent that. This one's gonna look good. Where's my bit of flash? Oop, I got some of that stuff in my nose. This one's gonna be a silver flash. I don't ever sell these. I make them mostly for me. I mean, I may give some to like my cousins or friends, or like to my younger brother. All right. That was just straight chartreuse. I got some stragglers there I got to trim off. Boy, I like this thread. This one is oh, it's a 220. No wonder I was going to say it's nice and thick. That's good stuff right there. Let's get the glue. I'm not going to bore you guys too much with a lot of fly tying today, but just a couple here and there. Main thing is I just wanted to wish everybody a happy new year. Yep, we're going to trim this just a little. There we go. Into the pile to get eyeballs later. I still have this whole pack I need to go through. Maybe I need to do a live stream where I just do all of them, like a marathon edition. People will be like, nah, don't do that, that'd be too boring. Hey, I have a good time doing this. It's a lot of fun. So, I'm not out fishing today. Just taking it easy for New Year's Day, watching the bowl games. Whoops. It's halftime of the Iowa game. They're getting killed. So I'm frustrated with that. Tech won its game. So I follow a lot of different teams. Alright, let me put the chartreuse back in there. Which one are we doing here? A marabou black. If you're getting into this for a hobby, there's a lot of channels you can watch to learn how to do this the right way. Don't necessarily follow what I do, because I'm more of a, hey, let's do this, let's throw that in there. White. Oops, I needed some flash first. Yeah, I'm not a good one to follow. Now, if you're here to kind of watch and see how I have fun doing this, and you know, you might pick up a tip or two. But other than that, I'd check a whole bunch of other channels that are out there. The one thing is I don't like is, see, a lot of these, I know crappie will hit just about any kind of color, but I kind of prefer the natural colors. Hang on, guys, let me see if that's my brother sending me a message. Ooh, got my phone way over there. Let's see. There we go. Sorry about that. All right, where were we? The white portion. Yeah, I think I mentioned this before. It's a lot of fun when you get home from like a long day of work and you just need something to decompress, chill out. This is definitely a way that will allow you to do that. I don't really use any chenille or anything like that. I think I've got some, but I just don't. Here, let me see if I've got any in here readily available. I'm just not a big fan of the chenille and stuff. I just want to tie them and get them over and done with. See, here's some right here. See, I could put a little bit of black on there. But with me using this kind of army green thread, you know, there's no point to it. So I need to pack it just a little tighter. There's the chenille. It's, you know, I'm not a chenille pro, but, and this one came out a little uneven. But it, there's some guys who do a really good job with it. I'm just not a big fan of the chenille and a lot of the colors. You'll see them like purple, pinks, all kinds of cool stuff, but it's just not for me. And I know I fish a lot of dirty water sometimes, and people are like, oh man, that would work, you gotta use it. Probably, but it's just not something that I'm going to use too much. Oh yeah, this one came out nice. Let me trim the back just a little. Sometimes I'll leave the flash hanging out there a little bit. Oh yeah, that one's nice and fluffy. All right, so we'll keep cranking along here. With these. Let's see, what else do I got here? So many of these I need to do. Anyway, so like I was saying is, it works out great for when I get home. And I can tie and relax. I'll have like a podcast going in the background, listen to some music or Sports Center or whatever. And then stick with the natural colors. I messed this one up. Trying to get this thing re-thread. I lost it on the bobbin, so I had to re-thread it through, and I got too much slack there. See, lots of learning left to do yet. But I'm having a lot of fun. I wouldn't change it for anything. Alright, what are we doing here? Chartreuse with black. Yeah, guys, I want everyone to have a happy 2024. I don't do resolutions, but if that's your thing, go for it. Have fun with it. I mean, there's some things I'd like to accomplish, that's for sure. Catch some more PBs. Somebody was asking me the other day what a PB is. It was a relative of mine. I said a personal best. Maybe do some more bushcraft stuff, because I'm always hearing that from my bushcraft buddies. Hey man, you need to get out there and do this and that, and probably. Alright, that's going to look good right there. Absolutely fantastic. Get this down here. Yeah, I get questions all the time. What do you mean bushcraft? Who's that? Who does? It's that primitive skills. So I got a bunch of friends that like to do that. They go out and camp, or they go to rendezvous with other groups, and living off the land, primitive lifestyle. Some of them are what we call preppers. Others are homesteaders, you know, living off the grid. But a lot of them just like to get out and... Oops, I think I got some of the... Dang it. I'll have to let that one dry a bit. Alright, there we go. Let's get him on the rack. Yeah, so I don't, I'll get out there and camp. I don't do too much where I'm like tarp camping, like a little cook set, starting a fire from scratch, any of that kind of stuff. And you have different variations of it. Some people don't make a fire from scratch. They use fire steels or whatever. They've got char cloth, which they've made from previous camping expeditions. So it's just different how they do it. But the one thing that they all have in common, dang, I got too much glue on there, is they all love being in the outdoors. Homing, refining seals, and a lot of it is they'll challenge themselves with navigating. Navigating's a big deal, so they'll be using a compass, and they'll go out to a buddy's ranch and stay out there. It's just, there's a lot of things going on with it. Alright, what do we got going on here for these? An all-natural olive green. This one, the whole thing is going to be kind of an olive green with a little bit of flash in there. So I've been testing out these Crappie Jigs over several months, and I've had a lot of success catching fish on them. So I know they work. I just got to keep it going. Keep up the good work with them. Testing out the different colors, and I had that one that was gray on top, white on the bottom, that minnow colored one that I was just whacking fish left and right on, and finally it just got so beat up. I sharpened the hook on it, but I showed you guys in the live stream I had to shoe polish the head on there and get it kind of fixed and give it some new life. I don't know, I think I may have a chartreuse one on there. Is my other color for this time. It's hooked up on the rod down there. I'll have to go down there and check. Alright, so we're pretty much done for these for the day. Later on I'll put the eyeballs on. Like I was saying, no fishing today. I got other stuff I gotta focus on to get ready for this week. I got some chores I need to do around here. I was out there exploring all these different fishing locations and trying to cram in all that over the break so that I could have some stuff scouted out. Ooh, what's going on here? Uh-oh. Did we lose some? There we go. All right. So we got that one a little bit longer on the collar there, but oh well. Got the flash in there. Everything looks good. Somebody's gonna ask, how come you didn't do a Cousin Eddie this time? No, not this time. That'll be another episode. Because I'll have to get it all planned out, if how many I'm gonna do, if I'm gonna change up, the colors. Am I gonna use that wacky thread? That wacky thread came off the bobbin, and I can't get it back on there. It's too frail. I didn't do any of the turkey feathers today. That'll be another day as well. Alright guys. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me today. Take a look at this fishing video using the drop shot. I know people have perfected the drop shot, and it's, I don't want to say new to me, but something I don't use that often because I'm not in a boat. It's easier when you're like in a boat and can drop straight down on the fish. But I still, had a good time. It was on a rough day out there. This cool front was coming through. We were supposed to get rain. We didn't get any rain. So when I left this spot, I went back to the river. Didn't catch anything. Had a couple followers, like a couple light thumps like trout would do, but nothing committed. But anyway, hey, thanks for hanging out with me. Until next time, I'll see you then. Thanks for hanging around to watch this fishing clip. Bye-bye. Welcome back, fishing friends, to another adventure. I'm back out at this new spot, guys. There we go. Starting off with a little crappie rig. See how this is gonna go. One of my little hair jigs. See if I can catch something on the crappie thunder stick. Thunder, but I call it the thunder stick. Just one of my little homemade hair jigs on there. Hey, if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. My name's Alan, and I appreciate your support. So there is a little bit more of a north wind, but that's okay. Such a cool place to come out and fish. Hopefully we'll get something out of here crappie wise. I think I've got 6-pound line on this, and one of my little minnow pattern jigs that I made. It's like gray on top, white on the bottom. So I'm just letting the waves bounce it around. Hopefully we'll get something. And I also brought out the drop shot today to throw it around. The other thing is, guys, Happy New Year! Happy New Year. I'm not much of a partier, but, New Year's New Year. So we'll give this, half hour or so, and then if we're not getting anything, I'm going to try the drop shot. Oops. Wrong wrong glove, wrong hand. The cool thing about it being a little choppy is it stirs stuff up and gives the bait fish something to come in and look for, and then the bigger fish are hunting them. You can see how cool this looks down here, guys. These little rock shelves. See rock bass, nice crappie, smallmouth come cruising through these rocks looking for a tasty morsel. So that's what we're hoping for. I'm using this Berkeley and Viz line. Fluorocarbon, I'm not impressed with it. It seems like it kinks up a lot. So I think I'm going to go back just to their trilene, which I always had a lot of success on. Or if not, go to like Seagar or something like that. Seagar, CR. But with this chop like this, it stirs up all kinds of microorganisms. And the fish love to come cruising through looking for morsels. I've got an orange head on that jig with gray on top, white on the bottom. So hopefully we'll get some action. All right, guys, on the drop shot, I'm using on the Bass X 6'8" Lose Speed Spin Custom 30. I'm using a Bass Magic Shakey Tail. It's kind of a long, kind of a little worm looking thing, minnow. So we gotta see what we got here. Ooh, it's a bass. Nice bass. Oh man. Let's get this hook out. Come on. There we go. Check that out, guys. Nice largie. I'm gonna get my scale that I got for Christmas, my digital scale, and we'll weigh them and see what we got. What do we got here? 2.2 on the drop shot just along the rocks out there. He's a good looking fish. There he goes. Whew. I'll show you what I was using. This guy right here. Just a little Bass Magic right off the edge there. And just jigging it along. Up on my perch, I switched to this because it's just, they're not wanting to put out a lot of energy. And so with this, it's just a little meal sitting there for them. Instead of bombing all kinds of lures and stuff, which I prefer to do. But I just kind of jig it along. I lift the tip up and down, and it dances along. So I got a little bag of my drop shots in here. Some worms, little minnows, and a little black hair jig. Hair jigs will work really well too. So the drop shot was on. My little 2-pound bass, that was pretty good on the drop shot. Yeah, you could tell he wasn't fighting like they normally would. These cool temperatures definitely make a difference. So it just kind of bobbed the tip up and down. Now bank fishing, drop shotting is tricky because you want to have, because your line will be at an angle. What is that, 45 degrees or whatever? So you got to time it where you want your lure to sit. Now if you're in a boat, it's pretty fun because you drop it straight down. But you know, I don't mind the challenges. That's what makes, you know, fishing kind of fun, doing something different. So I'll work this bank here, or this little point here, and change the baits out and see what we can come up with. They don't make those little Bass Magic Shakey Tails anymore. It's kind of a bummer. All right, guys, I hope you liked that little rundown on the drop shot. It's a lot of fun to throw. The key thing, I think, if you really wanted to get down there, you got current, you got wind, 1/2 ounce is probably your best bet. Try to go with tungsten. And there's different ones, teardrop, and then you got your cylinders. I don't know, I like the cylinders. I've done the teardrops. Seems like the teardrops get hung up a little bit more. But you know, give it a shot. You know, different setups. A good one to start with is the Berkeley, the Maxent flatworm, and the hitworm is another good one. But just give it a shot and work it through there, and just keep it going. It's a lot of fun to use, and you know, just the more you do it, the more you'll get used to it. You'll build more confidence in it. It's definitely a confidence bait. I know I have a lot of fun doing it. I need to do it more often. It's easier if you're in a boat and you could drop it straight down, or if you have like on high ground and get your angles set. But anyway, hey, thanks for hanging out with me today, and just a quick little video with the drop shot in it. You know, it was a day to do that because all the other days I'd been testing different lures. So today was like a drop shot and a Ned rig day. All right, guys, until next time, I will see you then. Have a happy new year. Bye-bye.